Hello everyone, my name is Jess. Welcome to Books Past Bedtime. So today I am bringing to you my October plan with me, and first things first, I am just lighting my candle. I am using Apple Weather from Bath & Body Works and it smells amazing. So I got a couple requests last month to flip through my completed pages from September, so I am going to go ahead and do that first. So as you can see, we have the title page, and then my filled out TBR page, as well as my filled out reading schedule. I did DNF 2 books this month, which is why some are crossed out, but I did complete everything except for Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. And then here is my September wrap-up spread and my page tracker. I am just filling in the last couple books I read in the last few days of September. And next month I am going to switch up my wrap-up page a little bit. I kind of ran out of room, so it looks a little ugly, but hopefully we will fix that for October. And then on this page we have my completed spread for Loveless, which was the Page Turner Book Club pick for September. The live show was on Mare's channel. I will link that down below. And then we just have a couple pages of to-do lists. And then we have my September playlist, which I added this month. We'll just pretend that I spelled the word playlist correctly. I actually really liked this spread and I'm going to do it again in October. And I just listed out the songs that I enjoyed listening to in September so I can remember them later. And then at the end of the month, I did add a little habit tracker, which I really enjoyed and will be making again in October. I'm just filling in some of the things I did on the last day of the month. And then finally, we have some more to-do lists and a page for The Lightning Thief. We are doing a read-along of the Percy Jackson series. If you would like to join, our first live show for The Lightning Thief is on October 11th, so you still have a little bit of time. I will link all the information for that down below. Now we are going to get into doing our October spreads. I am starting out, as always, with my title page, doing another pretty simple but a little bit different spread. So first things first, I just made a little section with my mild liners, and in that I'm going to write October. I'm an idiot and thought for some reason that T was the middle letter in October, so that is why it is a little bit off kilter, because obviously the O is in the middle, so whatever, it looks alright. And then I just doodled some pumpkins along the outside of the border. And I think they turned out pretty cute. And that is my October title page complete. And now our next spreads, as usual, are going to be my TBR and reading schedule spreads. I'm going to be using these 3 colored mile liners. They are kind of fall themed and I think they look cute together, so that is what we are doing. So as always, first up is going to be our October TBR page, and this month I am breaking the categories down into buddy reads / book clubs and also books for videos. I don't have any other categories this month, so that is what we are going with. In our book club / buddy reads category, we have The Shadows by Alex North, which is the page turner book club pick for October, and that live show is going to be on my channel, and I will leave all the information for that link down below. Definitely read this book with us this month. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we are going to have a good discussion as always. Also, I will be finishing up The Lightning Thief as well as reading The Sea of Monsters, both by Rick Riordan. The live show for The Lightning Thief for our read-along is on October 11th, as I mentioned, and the live show for The Sea of Monsters is on November 1st, so I also need to finish that one. And then as far as books for videos go, I will be reading Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, The Troop by Nick Cutter. Those 3 books are all for Secret TBR that will be coming out around the middle of the month, so if you have any guesses about what that is, let me know. And then I will also be reading Double Indemnity by James A. Cain, which I actually finished up the last day of October, so I can already cross that one off the list. I also have The Red House Mystery by A.A. Milne, The Drowner by John D. MacDonald, Malice Aforethought by Frances Ills, The Secret History by Donna Tartt, and 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. Those books are all also in a Secret TBR that will be coming out towards the end of the month. It is probably pretty obvious what that one will be, so if you have any guesses, let me know in the comments down below. And then I do have 3 more books for another Secret TBR that will be coming out in November. So those books are lowest priority, which is why they're at the bottom of the list, but hopefully I will also be able to finish them this month, and that is The Guest List by Lucy Foley, The Night Swim by Megan Golden, and A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCree. And then as always, after each title, I do have a 2-letter acronym that represents that book, and I will use that in my reading schedule. And then I also have the page count listed on the right hand side, and I added all those up to get my total page count number, which is 4,494 pages, and divided by the 31 days of October, that is 145 pages per day. So that is how I'm going to set up my reading schedule in a couple minutes. There are also a couple other books that I have on my radar that I want to get to this month. These are audiobooks I have out from the library or other things that are just on my list. So that is the extras column at the bottom. Those will not be going in my reading schedule, but I did want to include them on here in case I do manage to get to them. Those books include The Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas, Eclipse by Stephanie Meyer, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by Tom Felton, Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Powers, My Calamity Jane by Brody Ashton, and a couple other authors. I'll put that book up on the screen. Obviously, I don't remember them all off the top of my head. The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, More Than Maybe by Erin Hahn, Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, and My Sister the Serial Killer. Those last couple books, I would like to participate in a readathon this month, but I don't know if I'm going to have time. I will use a couple of these for challenges for that if I do have enough time, so that is why those are included in the extras as well. And now I am moving on to creating my reading schedule. As usual, I just number 1 through 31 down the left side of the page to represent all the days of the month. And then I just go ahead and break down every book by 145 pages and list those per day. And so I'm starting out with The Lightning Thief. The way that I order my books is in order of priority. So I make sure that I read all of the books I need to before videos post and also before live shows go up. So because October 11th is my first key date in this schedule, that is why I'm reading The Lightning Thief first, and then I go from there. Some days don't have exactly 145 pages on them because it was just easier to break the books up by a different numeral, but for the most part, it's like every day I'm reading 120 to 160 pages, so I'm in that basic range. I don't usually stick to this exactly anyway. Some days I read less and sometimes I read a lot more and catch up, so it's just really a guideline for me, so it doesn't have to be exact, but that is the gist. And obviously the 2-letter acronym corresponds with the 2-letter acronym of the book that I listed on my October TBR, so it's very easy to use and obvious what book I'm talking about when. And now those spreads are complete, and we are going to move on to the next page, which is going to be my October wrap up as well as my page tracker. And so I am going to be doing something similar to what I did in September, but I am resizing it a little bit. So one thing I didn't like, the right hand column where my rating was, it was a little bit too small. And also I obviously ran out of room in September, so I'm going to be using every line from the beginning of my October wrap up spread. I think it will end up looking a little bit better. So in the first column, I'm going to be putting the dates red, the second column is for the title, and the third column is for the rating of the book. So I am just going in with the 3 different mild liner colors that I chose to do, and I am alternating lines, and so I'm filling up the whole page with color just to make it a little bit fun and interesting to look at. And then on the right hand side, I'm making my page tracker as usual. Not much has changed with this one. Number 1 through 31 down the left hand side, and along the bottom every 5 boxes equals 20 pages, and so I label up to 400 along that axis, and that seems to work for me. I usually read less than 200 pages a day, but there are a couple days a month where I will read over 400 pages, so I like to have that amount of room. And I really like having these spreads. I think they turn out really pretty and they are just fun to fill in. And so the next 2 pages I am going to be doing dedicated pages for my book club books for the month. So the left hand page will be dedicated to The Shadows, while the right hand page will be dedicated to Sea of Monsters. And I really liked doing this in the past couple months, to have dedicated pages for these books where I have to talk about them on live streams. I just feel like it really helps me collect my thoughts and be prepared to talk about the books more than if I had just read them and not really written down any of my thoughts or thought about them in depth. And so these are just pretty simple spreads. I just freehanded boxes to act as a border, and then I am highlighting a section for the start date, the end date, the rating, and my thoughts. On the next 2 pages, the right hand side is going to be my bingo board for Thriller October, which is a readathon hosted over on Bookstagram by Read with Angie. As you might remember, my reading schedule is based on Read with Angie's. I honestly am obsessed with her. I think she is so fun and organized, and I just love her and her pictures. And so I really wanted to participate in a readathon because it sounds like a lot of fun, and I love bingo board readathons. This is a month-long readathon too, so I figure I can fit in a lot of the books I am already reading and just throw in 1 or 2 extras in order to complete all the bingo prompts, as my goal is always to be an overachiever and to black out the board. I do not have a set TBR yet, but as I said, I think some of the books I am already reading this month will fit into a few of the prompts, so I just am going to kind of play it by ear and see what I can fit into the board. But I might post one on Instagram in a couple of days, so if you are interested in following my progress with this readathon, definitely go follow me on Instagram. I am very much the most active there other than YouTube, so if you want to keep up with me on the day-to-day, definitely follow me over there on Instagram. And then on the left hand side, I am creating my playlist spread like I did last month. I managed to spell playlist correctly this time. Very proud of myself. Didn't realize that that would be such an accomplishment, but you know, sometimes it just be that way. So I am doing the title a little bit different. I am kind of copying something I found on Pinterest, so I think it looks pretty cute. This is a pretty basic spread. I'm just making 8 little boxes and I'm just freehanding them. They don't look perfect, but they look fine to me. And then I'm going in and drawing play pause buttons and skip buttons and a song progress bar, so it kind of looks like the layout of when you listen on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. I think it looks kind of cute. I also found this on Pinterest. I will try and link my inspiration down below because I definitely did not come up with this spread. And then throughout the month I will just fill in songs that I have on repeat into this playlist just so I have a record of them later on. I really love music and I feel like this is a good way to track and remember what I was listening to each month of the year. And now onto my final spread. On this page I am doing a habit tracker. I really don't like having to turn my bullet journal to fill things out. I find if I make habit trackers go the opposite way of everything else in my bullet journal, I don't use them. So even though this probably needlessly takes up 2 pages, I'm going to do it this way because this is how I think I will make myself use it. This is going to be a pretty basic setup. I just wrote 1 through 31 across the top, and then I'm writing the habits that I'm going to track down the right hand column, and each day of the month I'm just going to go in and put a little dot in the box if I do that habit. This is just a really easy, simple way to make a habit tracker. I feel like a lot of habit trackers are very involved, but I won't use them if they are too complicated. So this is what I have come up with that I think works best functionally for me. And then I had a little extra space there on the left, so I decided to just make a little column for notes. I don't know if I will use it, but it's there if I need it. And then for our final flip through, we have our October title page, our TBR and reading schedule spread, my October wrap-up and page tracker spreads, my spreads for the shadows and Sea of Monsters, and I forgot to put in my little rating bubbles, so I'm going in and doing that now. And then we have my bingo board for Thriller October, as well as my October playlist spread, and finally my habit tracker. That is going to be all for my plan with me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you're planning to read in October, and don't forget to check out all of the links in the description, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!